Welcome to episode 44 of Successful Demo. Each episode analyzes theoretical and practical aspects of more newly released cards. So today we'll be looking at Adam. Finally, I get a chance to show Adam off. As you noticed, there hasn't been a successful demo of Emergent Creativity. I've been holding that off until we got our second card in Logic Bomb. And here to discuss these cards today with us is none other than Adam Affectionado, Edmund, sometimes known as Jai online. Hi Edmund.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, how's it going?
Yep, doing good. Hopefully you're doing well yourself. So, for those of us, or rather for those most of you viewers, you might not know who Ed is. So, would you want to give a short introduction of yourself?
Most of you are on Stimhack Slack. You should know me as Jai. I'm fairly active in general and of course on the in the Adam chat.
Hashtag Adam.
Hashtag Adam Lounge. Represent. I've played since the core 1.0, so been around for practically forever. I've won a few nationals events, mostly in Singapore, all of them in Singapore actually, 2015 and 2016.
A few is kind of an understatement. You're like the triple crown here in Singapore.
Well, most other people call me that, but not myself. Alright. Anyway, so you want to get right into it?
Yep. So as you can see, a die-hard Adam fan. As you all know, Adam was released in Data and Destiny.
Data and Destiny, yeah.
Yeah. So what was your reaction when you picked up the big box? You saw the 3 new mini factions. Was it love at first sight for you?
Oh man, I'll tell you when I opened Order and Chaos. Oh, sorry, Data and Destiny. I thought to myself, all these crazy new NBN cards looked like they could be pretty good. 24/7 news cycle seems like could be busted, and what do you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I mean, well, for the runners, Adam was the first mini faction runner that caught my eye. I think what initially appealed to me was the emphasis they put on the fundamentals of running. Obviously, the 3 directives they put a certain strain on you to do certain stuff. And what I appreciated about it, especially as guidelines for newer players, and was the fact that the directives, even though they had drawbacks, the drawbacks made you want to made you do stuff that you should be doing anyway, or doing more of as a new player. For example, always be running forces you to make a run. And as we all know, the first thing that we tell new players is that you should not be so scared to run. You should be you should be more daring and face check servers and eat some subs maybe.
Yeah.
And always running forces you to do it, and it even helps you with the face checking as well.
Yeah, that's a very interesting perspective because I've dabbled in making noob-friendly decks, and Adam always seems like the one mini faction that is the hardest to introduce to noobs precisely because of the directives. Like, it's a lot of mental load to, remember that all your directives have a mandatory component and, they might miss the triggers. But otherwise, as you mentioned, yeah, I never really considered it that way. It does encourage good fundamentals.
Yeah. Of course, Adam, I would never introduce Adam to a new player and say, this is the runner and you should be doing what the things tell you to do, because like that's of course not a winning recipe, and that's why Dr. Lovegood is a card, right?
Yes.
But of course, since Find the Truth release in the Flashpoint cycle, I think Adam has grown in leaps and bounds from his original incarnation.
Yep, it certainly has.
Yeah, and there are, I think, much more interesting decks that you can build nowadays than you could back then. I mean, back then the best Adam build was Faust Levy with, so using Faust so you can get around the drawback of always be running, and you had because you had inherent card draw with your directives and with stuff like Drug Dealer.
Oh yeah. I remember those old decks where you had Drug Dealers. You draw cards. So many cards at the start of your turn.
At the start of your turn, the end of your turn, the start of the corpse turn. Yeah, basically.
That's awesome. But yeah, now Adam decks nowadays look very different because so many new cards have been released. As you mentioned, Find the Truth, a huge card for Adam. And then we got in this cycle we got even a non-Adam card in RNG Key. Oh my gosh.
Oh yeah.
That is-
Of course, the running joke is that Adam's the only main faction. He got 3 cards this cycle. Yeah.
True.
Because
Yeah.
when RNG Key was spoiled, everyone went, "Wow, this seems pretty good with Find the Truth." And then, of course, someone went and won an event with Find the Truth RNG Key in Val. Was it Val?
Yes. Conrad's Vel or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, so of course that proves that in itself proves the strength of the card.
Yep. But today we're not going to talk about these fake Adam cards. First, we'll look at Emergent Creativity from down the white now. This is basically a program/hardware tutor. We don't get hardware tutors that are good very often. This is one of them. So,
this is certainly one of them.
yeah, I mean, this came out quite a few months ago, so I'm sure most of you viewers have played with it in some way, shape, or form by now. So Ed, I mean, they probably know what this card does and how it can be used, but how have you been finding this card and what sort of synergies have you been looking at with Emergent Creativity?
Oh, okay. Well, Emergent Creativity, yeah, of course, the obvious interactions. Okay, one thing to note is that the added cost of trashing other cards from your hand. It doesn't have to be a cost if you are discarding Conspiracy Breakers or perhaps add extra brain chips that you don't need.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, the classic combo that I'm sure many people are familiar with is Emergent Creativity discarding a Femme to grab another Femme for basically 2 credits and 2 clicks, which is an
that's
amazing
dirty, so dirty.
Yeah. And of course, if you want to branch out into Jankier territory, there are those Ada decks with triple creativity, which is the whopping 15 influence into the monolith and all that jank.
Oh man.
Of course, I can't condone such deck ideas, but I think it says a lot about the depth of the card that people will be willing to splash a 5 influence card, 3 copies of a 5 influence card to pull off stuff like that.
Yeah, let alone Adam. I suppose it's kind of an auto-include 3-off in most, if not all, Adam decks because
for sure, definitely.
Yeah, because there's so much utility throughout the entire game. Even late game, when you have all your breakers, you can still grab a multi-threader from your deck. That's so good.
Yeah, I think it's interesting because prior to Kitara Cycle, absolutely no one was playing multi-threader in Adam. I think the only place people played multi-threader was in these kind of Cyberdelia Shaper, big rig builds, for example, for free runs. But Adam, the card really didn't have a place in its home faction because there wasn't really like the idea to build an invincible rig and get value out of your 2 credits per turn.
Yeah, I mean, Adam used to be very inconsistent prior to Emergent Creativity. You're mostly using AI breakers because you just can't reliably get your normal breakers out.
Yeah. So the thing about Multithreader is that you can grab Emergent Creativity. You can grab it with Emergent Creativity, or you can pitch it to Emergent Creativity in the early game, right? When it's not necessary to get you let's say a 1 credit paperclip. That's already quite something.
Yeah. That's pretty good. So yeah, a very strong card, which is fits very well with Adam. I mean, it shows up something that Adam's really lacking. And now we have the latest card from the latest Whispers in Nalabao, which is Logic Bomb. This is a virtual. Yeah. I mean, they did drop quite the bomb on Adam here.
Hell yes.
So when I first saw this card, I would say it's interesting. It's like a one-use David, but I was a bit skeptical on whether that is something Adam needed. So what do you think when you first spoiled it? What was your thought process?
Okay, well, when we in the Adam Lounge, we first saw the card and we thought, wow, this is an insane 2 to 3 off, and then collectively about 2 hours later, we realized, what are we talking about? This is not a 2 off.
That good.
Yeah.
That good.
Okay, so even if you think about this card in terms of pure economy, you're obviously only going to pop it when you face with an ice that's painful to face check that you walked into. Let's say, I mean, the classic examples would be stuff like DNA Tracker, Fairchild 3. With the caveat, of course, that you lose all your remaining clicks. But as we've all probably experienced by now, 0 clicks is all your clicks. So running on your third or last click with a logic bomb in hand, or sorry, on
the table, yeah.
On the table, it's a much larger it's a much safer and much larger security blanket than most runners can afford to get away with.
Right, so it's basically face check protection, like SMC is to Shaper, in a sense.
Yeah, in a sense. And just in terms of a pure value card, for example, you face check Fairchild 3, and I think one of the interesting things is that even if you know it's a Fairchild 3, normally what people do is, if you suspect ice is a Fairchild 3, you run first click. So even if you rest, you still can click through and not have to eat subroutines.
Yep.
But with Logic Bomb, you can safely do stuff, take liberated credits, draw cards, and then run last click. And then the cop is in a really awkward spot where they kind of want to rest the Fairchild 3 because it's a Fairchild 3. But on the other hand, they know you're just gonna Logic Bomb, and then you're just gonna literally walk through it scot-free without even having to pay any clicks.
And by forcing the rest, looking at a deck list, you're running 3 copies of Femme Fatale. Obviously, they have to be worried that you are going to fam it pretty soon after.
Of course.
So, Logic Bomb seems like something that definitely fits into Adam's game plan.
Yeah. Of course, the card does have some drawbacks, right?
Yep.
I mean, every faction kind of has like certain ways to play around it. Notably, HB, the Fairchild 3 faction, also has Ikawa Project, which is a great agenda to stick into a remote if you suspect that a Logic Bomb is going to come down.
Mm-hmm. And Jinteki has snares, which are a nightmare to hit
it's a
on your last
nightmare.
Indeed. Yeah, so definitely has its downsides, but I think that's what makes it interesting. So, so here's the deck list that we are going to be playing. You mentioned that it was apparently a creation of the hashtag Adam Lounge Hive Mind.
Yeah, it's. I mean, of course, I can't take all the credit, but this list is quite close to the aggregate of what many people are taking and testing, except for, of course, shout out to Tandinator, who is of course going on his own crazy explorations with Opus, Surfer. Hands off to you, man.
That's crazy. Oh man. All right. So it's a pretty standard list. A lot of good cards, and we'll see if we can make magic happen out of this. Right. Let's go get a game.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Alright, so we are in the game. So is there any reason at all to take Always Be Running?
There is a consideration. Let's see. Against Titan, normally, you would take. Titan is one of the few matchups where Always Be Running probably supersedes, I would say, safety first.
I was thinking safety first as well. We do want the RD pressure and HQ pressure from Find the Truth and Neutralize All Threats.
Yeah, you don't want to turn off your RNG keys, etc. by removing Find the Truth.
Yep. So that's interesting. Have you covered the HQ?
Yes.
Okay, let's get down to it. That's the nice thing about Adam. It doesn't show the corpse hand. I think this is a snap keep. 3 money cards.
Yes, it's a snap keep.
And yeah, Maxwell James is going to be really good against that remote archer. Love it. Okay. Let's see whether they keep or maul. That's a keep, so we keep as well. Alright. It's quite interesting that we are picking Always Be Running here, because I would say that Logic Bomb basically supersedes Always Be Running. It does the same thing without the restriction.
Yeah, it does practically the same thing. It's almost strictly better in most scenarios, and luckily for us, normally neutralize all threats is the drawback to having to run first click, because you might see something you trash and then you not be able to play your shell gamble. But luckily we have the best the best econ card for Adam at the time of Adam's printing, which is Dirty Laundry, which means you don't have to trash all that 4-cost stuff like pet campaigns, reconstruction contracts, etc.
That's true. So we can, the obvious play here is Dirty Laundry R&D, but we could also face check HQ. I'm not sure what they can threaten with 5 credits. What do you think?
5 credits on with Titan probably is a Mausolus, which is it's definitely go throughable, but
annoying.
It's not pleasant. I would just take the easy
sense.
play R&D.
Okay, sounds good.
So you get to look at the top card of R&D before you access the top R&D.
Yep, we pick at Enigma, so that's fine.
Alright.
Okay, so we want to take advantage of... Oh wait, no, we have no safety first. Okay, screw that. So click to draw, I guess.
Yes, click draw.
Wow, Maxwell James. Okay.
He knows we have 1 Maxwell James. He doesn't know about the second.
Hey. Gamble cast, or do we want to draw more?
I would go draw cast.
Brain chip. Yep, that's a good card to have.
Yep.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. I think you make a good point. We do need to draw as often as possible without safety first.
Yeah, that's correct.
Slower than usual.
That's the downside.
Right.
Now, the Titan here is on 5 credits, which is okay. Now it's on 7 credits.
Right.
He's not like quite in fast advance range yet.
Nope. But you never know when it comes. But this means that they cannot fast advance from hand yet. Otherwise, they would have by now. We could run R&D, but that's our entire turn. That doesn't sound good. Click. So run archives, I guess.
We could. I mean, it's perfectly fine because let's see what ice does Titan run that has like multiple threatening subs? It's practically only Mausolus, right?
Yep.
And I mean, I feel it's more likely that Mausolus is on HQ.
R&D is almost certainly Enigma since we saw it off the top.
Yeah.
So good chance that there's a Mausolus on HQ. Shall we? Force Res is not the worst.
Yeah, right. Sure, because it goes to what?
3 credits. So
3 credits
out of hedge range. Ice Wall, that's a jack out, I guess.
That is almost certainly a jack out, yep.
Okay, cool.
So now we know we need to go find a Clippy.
Yep, so we draw for it. We have Gamble. We draw again?
So we have 2 clicks left?
Yes,
we'll be needing to draw. We'll be needing to discard a card if we draw, which is fine because we have extra Maxwell James. So we can.
Okay. Logic Bomb. Do we drop it? We could drop it now to... No. Do we?
I think we do drop it now because the issue right now is we've always been running. You can't drop Logic Bomb before running.
Yeah. And Logic Bomb is not that good on your first click run with always be running. Anyway, we are ditching Maxwell, I guess?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Yeah, so part of the issue previously with Adam is that you always had to be setting up for your next turn because you never knew. Oh, there we go.
Interesting. Hostile. Okay. Turning on Archer, probably.
Yeah.
So we have to run. Suddenly I'm regretting our choice of always running. No, neither server looks very appealing. I really don't want to click through Ice Wall or Enigma at this point.
Actually, he's at 11 credits.
Yeah.
If we hit, so the thing is, even if it's a Mausolus as a second ice on R&D, I take that back. It's almost certainly not a Mausolus because he installed both eyes on turn 1.
Yes.
And why would the Mausolus be on the inside?
Nope, it will be on the outside, correct.
Yeah. So I would click HQ now that I think about it.
Interesting. Okay. We'll try that. Click. Interesting, because I would definitely not make that line of play, but we'll see what Rotom's up to here. It's a Hortum.
And with 1 click left, it's
I mean, it's not a painful face check. We can end the run if we wish, but we can also Logic Bomb.
We could Logic Bomb. I think it's worth a shot.
Yeah, because if we get an agenda here, it would be pretty good. So 2 cards we're gonna see. Find the Truth shows us Fast Track.
That's right. All right.
Arc Lockdown. That is very good to know. Illegal Arms Fact. Oh gosh.
Which we are
Oh
forced to trash,
gosh.
unfortunately.
Oh gosh. Okay, that is okay. This is starting to look kind of not good. Uh. Okay.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Okay,
Well.
so he
Yep.
goes draw.
Yep.
Probably that implies that
He's looking for his fast advance piece.
he is looking for a fast advances because he has a fast track in hand, and he ices RNG now.
So I guess just run archives because
Yeah, so we probably this time go archives, gamble, draw.
Baltic labor on top of R&D, which probably means an ad. No wait, they're a bit poor. So click to draw. We see another brain chip.
Hmm. Then
Draw again.
gamble, I guess.
Okay, gamble. Alrighty. Right, now we'll see what they do. They could Biotic Audacity fast track. Nope, they're just taking money. Interesting. So run archives again?
Yeah, sure. Run archives again.
Yeah, because we don't have breakers to get past double ice. Find the Truth shows us Morceless.
And
Draw.
that's the lockdown. Oh, interesting.
Ah, they pitch lockdown. Interesting. Okay. We draw third click, I guess.
Yep.
Oof, these cards, man. We could
I
gamble,
think-
drop Liberate.
It is a consideration to draw again because we obviously don't need a second brain chip.
What are we pitching besides brain chip?
Well, ideally we pitch Paperclip.
Okay, that sounds good. Nope.
Oh, turning
not
wood. That's
quite.
interesting now.
Yeah, no, that actually makes things interesting. One click late, unfortunately. What do we ditch here?
I would ditch second Maxwell. I think it does not. He already has 4 eyes on the remote.
That's true. Yeah.
Four eyes not on the remote. Oh.
Yep,
There we
that's
go.
the Atlas. So he did have the Atlas in hand. I think we whiffed
Yeah,
on the HQ
Probably
run.
we probably whiff on HQ. Unfortunately.
So we have to run. He has on 2 credits, so he cannot rest Enigma on R&D. I would say run R&D.
Let's do it.
Okay. That explains the click last turn. Is it even worth it?
We see 1 card.
Yeah.
Next turn he goes. So what are we doing with our rest of our turn? We go.
We'll at least drop Turning Wheel. I think we want to do that at the very least. And probably draw up for breakers.
Yeah, I can see that. That probably means we leave. I think we just bounce and take creds and turning wheel.
Take creds or draw?
Actually, yeah, that's right. Draw is probably better. It's a key.
That's something we should drop, I guess.
I guess we install both.
I like that.
Yep.
Okay.
So once we get like a breaker, any breaker, we're in business because like Black Orchestra deals with both Enigma and Hotem. Paperclip deals with both Ice Walls, and then we can just click the rest.
Yep.
And in the meantime, we're just farming wheel
So
tokens.
what I want to do oh no, he has ice now. I mean he has money to rest Enigma. I was looking to do R&D run and get RNG key for draw, but now so the Archives Ice is almost certainly Morceless. I think we can run Archives here.
Do we not just want to farm?
Oh yeah, yes, we found Turning Wheel, of course. So run random server, jack out.
Yep.
Then
Then continue drawing, I suppose.
Spots Hopper. We are fairly rich. Using it for draw isn't the worst now.
Yeah, let's do it. There's no particular pressing need. Oh.
Drop Strike.
Is there a need to strike now?
No, but we want to play something, so it's either strike or gamble, I guess.
Let's do gamble. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, now discards.
Brain chip. Yeah.
Yep.
I'm just worried that he top decks Audacity and does the Atlas thing.
Uh-oh.
Which he does hostile.
Oh.
Yeah, that's fine. Thank goodness we didn't play the strike then. Well, good on you. Okay, now they actually have 8 credits, so... Okay, so click 1, we are just going to farm. Do we Emergent Creativity for Paperclip now?
We probably have to, because we can't do it at the start of next turn.
So, trash nothing. We could trash the Femme, but...
Nah. The Femme is too useful.
It is. Okay, so we get the Paperclip out. Last click strike.
Last click. Why not run RNG?
Okay. We are going to hit an Enigma most likely, but yeah, that will take them down in credits, so I like that idea. Let's see the Enigma. Yep. That ends the run.
And that's it.
Nice. Okay. So the big question is, which server do we... I mean, no, we still can't break the code gates without... yeah, unless we always run. I mean, we could use always... Oh gosh. Oh gosh. Oh, okay. That's game. We have to run R&D, right? And triple click the Enigma.
One.
We have to find the hostile.
We could go bounce R&D, Femme Enigma, run twice. Oh no, we can't because we have one credit off.
Yes, we are one. Run R&D, drop Femme, click for credit run. We have 2 that part, right?
Yeah, I think that's the only solution.
Okay. Femme, credit, run R&D, and of course use all the turning wheels. Right. It's now or never, I guess. 3 in 32. Okay.
We get to RNG Key though.
Oh yeah. I assume we are taking money. RNG Key. Okay. So we see Morcelus, we see Cyberdex. We can't trash that, and we see Dedication Ceremony. Yep, that's game.
Yep. I think it's fairly unfortunate this game. If he had, because it was almost certain that he had Atlas on the R&D run, also on the HQ run, with 4 cards that he made.
Yep.
But we ended up hitting Arms Factory, was the worst.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that cost us a lot of tempo. I mean, we were fairly rich, but I think we had a breaker problem. I kind of think Always Be Running screwed us a lot. We basically lost 1 click every turn, for the most part.
Yeah, I think if the turning wheel came down earlier, it would have been a lot less painful.
Well, that's an interesting experience at least. Always Be Running is pretty awful when you don't have turning wheel out.
That being said, it's not. On the other hand, it's not common that like Titan gets a very very early 4 eye setup. So I think it might still have been the correct decision.
Yeah, that's true. The ice was a bit more. I mean, yeah, double click kind of hurts. Like sometimes I'm staring down at the ice wall, and I'm going like, do we really want to double click a stupid ice wall? But yeah.
Sometimes when you gotta go, you gotta go.
Yeah, you were right. Yeah.
And I suspect it probably might have been worse if we had kept safety first, because I mean just looking at our draw, the breakers weren't coming until that one and only creativity that we drew.
That is true. Yeah, we would have been locked out of code gates pretty much. Yeah, you have a good point. Yeah, I guess that was partially draw as well. So that was our first and rather unsatisfactory attempt at playing Adam with Emergent Creativity and Logic Bomb. The game just went too fast for us to show off. Tune in next episode where we face up against a slower Glacier deck. Till then, happy net running. See you next episode.